The Curse of Cassandra. In the twilight of Troy's golden age, when its towers still touched the heavens and its halls echoed with song, there lived a princess, blessed by the gods but doomed by one. Cassandra, daughter of King Priam and Queen Hecuba, was unlike any other. Her eyes burned with the fire of insight, and her voice carried the weight of unseen truths. She had once been favored by Apollo, the god of prophecy. In exchange for her promise of love, Apollo bestowed upon her a divine gift, the ability to see the future. But Cassandra never gave herself to him. Disappointed, the god did not revoke his gift, he cursed it. From that moment her visions remained intact, but no one would believe her. The gift that became a curse. Cassandra first realized the curse when she ran, panting, into the royal court one evening, her face pale as a ghost. "The child!" she cried, pointing at her infant brother Paris in Hecuba's arms. "He will bring ruin to Troy. Cast him away or death will follow." Priam scoffed. "He is but a babe, harmless and fair." Hecuba clutched the child tighter. "You speak madness, Cassandra. This is your brother." "But I saw it," she insisted. "The flames, the wooden beast, death hidden in its belly. Troy will burn." The court erupted in laughter. A girl's hysterics, they said. A sister's jealousy. So Paris grew, strong and proud. Years passed, and the vision was forgotten. But Cassandra did not forget. 2. A future foretold. She tried again when Paris, now a young prince, set sail to Sparta. "Do not let him go," she warned her father. "He will return with another man's wife, and with her, war." But Priam would not hear it. "Your brother is no thief. He travels for peace." When Paris returned with Helen, the fairest woman in all Greece, the city erupted in joy. Only Cassandra stood silent, trembling. Soon the horizon darkened with sails. Thousands of Greek ships arrived, demanding Helen's return. "No one will believe me until the walls crumble," she whispered to herself. She took refuge in the temple of Apollo, praying that the god would lift the curse. But only silence answered. And so, the war began. 3. The 10 years of blood. The war dragged on for a decade. Heroes fell like leaves in winter. Hector, the prince of Troy and Cassandra's beloved brother, died at Achilles' hands. The rivers turned red, the land wept. Cassandra saw it all before it happened. Each time she warned, and each time she was dismissed as a madwoman. The people whispered behind her back. The seer of sorrows, they called her, the harbinger of doom. But she was neither prophet nor madwoman. She was cursed. When she saw the final vision, a wooden horse standing outside the gates of Troy, its belly hiding death, she ran through the streets, barefoot and wild-eyed, screaming, "Burn it! Burn the horse! It is a trick!" But the Trojans, desperate for hope after 10 years of war, saw the horse as a gift from the gods. "Let it in," said Priam. "It is a symbol of victory." "No," Cassandra pleaded. "It is the end." But, as always, her voice fell on deaf ears. The fall. That night, under a false moon and false peace, Greek warriors slipped from the wooden belly. They opened the gates for the army hiding outside the city. Troy burned. Screams filled the night air. Fire devoured the palaces and temples. Children cried. Warriors bled. The gods watched in silence. Cassandra knelt in the temple of Athena, clutching the cold marble, her prophecy fulfilled. She had seen it all, the destruction, the death, the silence after the storm, and no one had listened. But her curse did not end there. A new chapter. After the sack of Troy, Cassandra was dragged from the temple by Ajax the Lesser. Despite the sacred space's protection, she clawed and screamed, not for herself, but for what she foresaw next. "Your blasphemy will doom you," she warned, and it did. Ajax was later lost at sea, shipwrecked by Athena's wrath. Cassandra was given as a war prize to King Agamemnon of Mycenae, the very leader of the Greeks who had destroyed her home. Yet, she foresaw not only his doom but her own. In Mycenae, she walked the palace halls, whispering to the walls. "She waits for him," she said of Clytemnestra, Agamemnon's wife. "She waits with a blade." Agamemnon dismissed her warnings. "You've been through much," he said. You're not well. But Cassandra saw it all. The jealous wife, the dripping knife, the blood-soaked floors. 6. The final prophecy. On the day they returned to Mycenae, Cassandra stopped at the threshold of the palace. She gripped the columns as though to anchor herself to the earth. "This house is a tomb," she whispered. Agamemnon smiled, placing a hand on her shoulder. "Come, my dear, there is no curse here." But Cassandra did not move. "What do you see?" a servant girl asked softly, trembling at the sight of her haunted eyes. "I see death," Cassandra answered. "I see a woman with a knife and no god to stop her. I see a king strangled in his bath. I see a seer silenced in the end." "Then why go in?" Cassandra gave a sad smile. "Because there is no running from prophecy. Even the cursed must meet their fate." And so she walked into the palace and into the end of her story. 7. The legacy. When the people found Agamemnon's corpse in the bath, Cassandra's lifeless body lay nearby. A blade still glistened in the firelight. Clytemnestra stood above them both, her dress soaked in red. The people mourned their king. They cursed the foreign witch who brought doom with her. Only a few wept for Cassandra, but the gods did not forget her. Apollo, moved perhaps by guilt or pity, etched her name into the stars. She became the voice of those never heard, the spirit of those never believed. In the centuries to come, storytellers spoke her name with reverence. Some said her soul roamed the ruins of Troy, whispering truths that no one hears. Others believed she had been reborn again and again, in every voice ignored, every warning dismissed. 8. The Curse Reborn. In a modern city thousands of years later, beneath steel towers and endless traffic, a girl named Cassie stood at a crowded intersection, clutching a notebook. She'd always had strange dreams, fires, wars, faces from another time. Today she dreamed of a building collapse. She had written it all down, the number of floors, the time, the screams, but no one believed her. "They're just nightmares," said her mother. "You watch too many disaster shows." "No," she whispered. "It's going to happen." At 3:46 p.m. it did. Sirens wailed. Smoke rose into the sky. People cried and searched for answers. Cassie stood in the crowd, shaking. She remembered another life, another fire, and in the deepest part of her mind, a voice whispered, familiar and ancient, "This is the curse of Cassandra. To see, to warn, and to be ignored."